tricksters, flipsters, and finger-popping daddies. Knock me your loads.
Come with me.
What was that?
Come with me. I think you need a break. Before you are broken, that's a break you can't fix. I can help you. Come with me. Relax. Don't worry. It's right through here. Do you hear that? It must be a carnival nearby. There it is, right over there. Someday I'll take you there to see and hear the great mysteries handed down from generation to generation. But that's for a different day. Let's keep going. Here we are. How are you feeling now? Better? We're going to go this way, right up this channel. What's that? This doesn't look familiar to you? It shouldn't. You've never been on this river before. The name of the river? It's called Esoterica. This is the river that runs through all of us. We have a way to go now. There is a village upriver. People are waiting for you, and they are preparing for you to show you the new way. A shaman waits for you to show you a new way to the true self. The shaman has prepared a special drink for you. You will drink from the cup, and the potion will free your mind. Relax. Chill out. Come with me.
Welcome to Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo. Unusual, bizarre, odd, enigmatic, cryptic, strange, inexplicable, offbeat. Welcome to Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo, the show that asks the question, huh?
Chupa, 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 cabra, chupa, cabra, chupa, chupa, cabra, chupa, cabra.
Large and small, sector, vector, eat them all. It's already in the rise. Among the mental ones, a messenger will soon arrive. 1-0-0-0-1-1, 1-0-1-0-1. Periodic table with a Santa peace of mind. 1-0-0-0-1-1, 1-0-1-0-1. Periodic table with a Santa peace of mind. Man alive, the jiving lyrics, radioactive, don't come near it. Temple of Syrinx having the big sale of the year. Man alive, the jiving lyrics, radioactive, don't come near it. Temple of Syrinx having the big sale of the year. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Gonna be a big brawl over it, like them little bitty babies in the king cake. Bonnie and Clyde, the whole dome. The shackles of automata will shatter like their bones. 1-0-0-0-1-1, 1-0-1-0-1.
Quiet, please.
Recording.
I go again. I found a way to cook.
Take two.
I found a way to cook extra. Come on over and try my crispy. It's entirely different, and yet it's just as tender and tasty. No, and it's just as finger-licking good. You see, I found a way to cook chicken deep down and get that real crispy crust that some folks like. And it's just as tender and juicy, and I'll get it now. I found a way to cook chicken deep down and get that crispy, real crispy chicken crust. Yet it's entirely different. No.
This will be Wild Lines 30. Take one.
Now you have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Start again.
You say cut it?
Go ahead.
And now you have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken to choose from. Yet tender and juicy. Is that it? Yeah.
That's all I said.
It's better,
Take two.
Colonel, if you read it. Okay, we're recording.
Now you have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken to choose from. My regular recipe.
Take three.
It's entirely different. But every bit. Yes. Now you have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let me get that scratched off of there and quit looking at it.
Quiet, please.
That real crusty, what kind of damn crispy crust. It's really different. Now you can have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken to choose from. My regular recipe and my new extra crisp.
Crispy.
New extra crispy, I thought I said that.
1, 3.
Now you have two kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken to choose from.
Cut it.
It's entirely different. Yet every bit is finger-licking good, you see. No, every bit of it's finger-licking good. You see, I found a way to cook chicken deep down to get that real crispy crust some folks like. I better do that again, huh?
Yes.
All right.
Cut.
You don't want me to sing, do you, for Christ's sake?
We're rolling. This is the good one. Take 5.
Most folks
All right, once again.
most folks have heard about.
All right, that's good. Good. Very nice.
That's why folks call it finger. That's why folks call it finger.
Sounds good.
That's why folks call it finger licking good. That's why folks call it. That's why folks call it finger licking good. That's why folks call it finger licking good. I'm not getting anywhere with this damn thing.
Okay, fine.
a life that's full, and each and every highway answers much more than this. I did it my way.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, to give to mention, I did what I had to do. I saw it through with nothing new, yeah. I planned into a curve, into footprint along the earthwork, and much more than this. I didn't know why. There were times, I'm sure you knew, when there was fun to do, but do it down. Well, there was that. I shut it down. I kicked it down. I faced the wall, and the wall, and didn't why? I've loved and been a snake. I've had my fill, my share of living, and now the tears subside. I find it out so amusing to think I killed a cat, and my eyes say not in the daylight. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a brat? What has he got when he wears hats and he cannot say the things he truly feels, but only the words of one who kneels. The record shows on the blood and did it my way.
How Not to Die is a funny one. For Homer is a classy poem. Yeah, this one tries to make life into something that, is fitting. For Homer, there's rust on the old truths. Ironclad cliches erode. New lies don't smell as nice as new shoes. I've years of poems to type up, 40 years of smoking to stop. I've no steady income, no home, and because my hands are autochtonic, I can never wash them out. I feel dumb. I feel like an old mangy bull crashing through the red rag of an alcoholic day. Yes, it's all so beautiful, isn't it? How perfect the entire system of things. The human body all in proportion to itself. Nothing useless. Truly as though a God had intended, indeed warranted so. And the sun for day, the moon for night, and the grass, the cow, the milk, that we all in time die. You'd think there would be chaos the futility of it all, that children are born, and the iniquities, millions to hold one, zilch for another, both in the same leaky lifeboat. I have no religion, and I soon worship Hermes. And there's no tomorrow, there's only right here and now. And you and whoever you with, alive as always, and ever ignorant of that death you'll never know. And all's well that is done. A hellish happiness pervades the peace, and the gifts keep on coming. The work begun ends splendidly done. To see people aware and kind, at ease and contained of wonder, like the dreams of the blind, the heavens speak through their lips, all's caught what could not be found, all's brought what was left behind.
Next Step Studios presents a unique documentary about a real character, Jack Nance, the actor who became a cult icon with Eraserhead.
His particular type of hair would just lock in. And everybody said, no, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. Look at this. But it was just so beautiful and perfect.
He used to say about me, because I was so much taller, that if you can only get one woman, you might as well get the biggest one you can get.
Jack said to Catherine, get in the stall, horse face. Bam! In out! Jack goes down on his knees, tears squirt out of his eyes. She cut his nose open with a ring, and that kind of ended the evening.
There's a guy here, that's passing out at the bar. I said, well, what are you waking me up for at 2:30 in the morning? I said, call the police or call a cab or something. And he says, well, the guy says he's your brother.
He said, if you don't help me, if you can't help me, I'm going to jump out this window. Dennis Hopper promised him that when he went to Studio 12, if he checked in, that they'd give him the stuff. I think I told him at the place that I had lied to him.
From the day he met that girl to the day he died, he loved her more than anybody I've ever seen.
I think he wanted to, help her in whatever problems she had and thought he could, but he couldn't.
He told me that she said, Jack, if you hang up on me, I'll kill myself. And suddenly, because of the storm, the phone went dead.
From his childhood in Texas to his untimely donut shop death, discover the man behind the image through the colorful tales of those who knew him and loved him.
The fact that Jack's death was an unsolved homicide in some kind of quirky way, I think he will love that. It's an unsolved homicide. You can just hear him saying it. And I'm sorry if I offend anybody by that. But, you gotta know Jack.
Next Step Studios presents I Don't Know Jack.
Hey, welcome everybody to Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo, and this is episode number 13. 13. 13. Ooh.
Spooky.
At the top, you heard Clutch doing 100011 10101. Man,
that computer joke?
I couldn't even dial that. And following that was Colonel Sanders muffing his way through a few lines, followed by Meet the Flintstones with Monty Alexander, Ray Brown, and Herb Ellis. Sid Vicious brought it up with My Way, that lovely version done by Old Blue Eyes originally. And Greg Corso was waxing poetic with For Homer. The album was called Die On Me. And a worldwide debut by a guest in studio, Whitney Delfos, doing a Lady Gaga tune with cello, Bad Romance. Let's hear it for our in-studio guest, Whitney Delfos. Hey, Whitney, welcome.
What up?
On board to Esoteric. Say hello to the people out there in Radio Land.
What's up?
Okay.
Sorry. What's going on, everyone?
They can't respond.
That's great. Conversationalist.
Yeah, big time.
That was her first produced demo CD, soon to be released at WPKN Studios, at least, right here.
That's right.
Coming live on 89.5. And also we're streaming on WPKN.org. There was also a movie, what is it, a trailer, Rich?
Sure. That's
Called,
what it's called, a trailer.
I Don't Know Jack, about Jack Nance, the star of Eraserhead, who was stomped to death. And, being as this is show number 13, there's a few things you should know about that number. John Shaw is in studio here with us, and Lady Diablo, who we'll be talking to very soon, our other special guest. We have a lot of guests on the show tonight. We are told that 13 is an unlucky number.
That's not true.
Yeah, the date.
I like 13.
Do you?
Yeah, it's all over everything.
Would you bet on it?
It's all over our money.
If I knew I could win, yeah.
It's on our money.
It's on our money, 13 on the back of the $1 bill.
Yeah.
The Eagles holding 13 arrows.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because there was 13
original colonies.
There you go. Wow, man. And they in this country?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
You know that one where you sit?
I had no idea.
Look around sometimes.
And the date, Friday the 13th, is taboo because the Knights Templar was arrested and condemned in a pre-dawn raid on Friday, October 13th, 1307.
Don't piss off the Pope.
No, yeah, man. And tell me it's raining.
He don't like it when you don't mess with the Pope.
No messing with the Pope. El Pupa. Some architects omit the 13th floor from office buildings to this very day. Did you know that?
But there still are 13 floors, regardless if they tell you it's not there.
But they always call it like the conference room.
Yeah.
Or
and when you go to
the
functions,
mezzanine.
Sometimes when you go to functions, there's no table 13.
That's stupid.
They just skip. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
It's kind of dumb.
If you think it's unlucky, you should just walk out into traffic.
That's right. Yeah.
Be hit by 13 cars.
Yeah, right. 13 times.
It is an oddly recurring sum, 12 apostles and a Messiah, 12 knights of the Round Table and King Arthur. There are 13 major joints in your body. And I think I smoked one of those about 4 months ago. And but let's get right to the show because we have a jam-packed show. In studio, once again, we have
Whitney Delphos.
Whitney Delphos, who's going to be accompanying us on cello today and tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, you
whatever.
can just play in the background while we're talking, whatever you want to do.
Mood music.
Yeah,
yes.
Mood music.
Telephone.
Mood music.
For your dining and dancing pleasure. Please put your seat back. Okay. We have in studio John Shaw and Lady Diabla, who are from the show, The Original Sinners. John was a previous guest when he was a solo act, and now he has combined his talents with the like of Lady Diabla, and they do a fantastic sideshow / magic show, human endurance stunts that are...
It's a variety show.
Yes, for the devil.
No. Just a man likes to wear red tights.
It's a very unusual show, to say the least. John, why don't you tell us a little bit and introduce Alex and how you guys put
it all together? Well, the show is a combination. There's magic, there's illusions, there's physical stunts such as sword swallowing, the human blockhead, all that kind of stuff, eating light bulbs and stuff. And then there's, then we also mix in other daredevil stunts like knife throwing, and we do some other magic and illusion stuff.
Knife throwing. You're doing knife throwing too?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We put knife throwing in the show. The Lady Diabla does Western bullwhip tricks where she breaks the head of a flower that's between
How are the
my
levels?
legs.
Levels good?
So it's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Everything blending fine?
I believe so.
Can you get the voices and the cello?
I think we're doing good.
Okay.
Or well, as I was told.
Okay, just checking.
Little diction.
Nice English.
Okay.
Graduation. But the show's got filled with all kinds of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just this typical sideshow, and it's not just a typical magic show. It's a wide variety
It's a
of
combo.
Stuff. Yeah, it's a wide variety, and it's mixed with comedy, a lot of audience participation, that kind of thing. So,
Now, Lady Diabla, tell me what inspired you to start swallowing things?
Really?
Well, yeah.
Daddy wasn't around much.
Yeah, my dad wasn't around much, and I didn't want to get a real job, so it all just kind of worked out.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is...
You don't know how to approach that, do you? I can see you.
What are you doing? There is... You all right?
Yeah, I'm just... It's loud in here, so to hear it in my headphones, I have to really squeeze them.
Stop swallowing.
Stop smoking.
Okay.
Stop swallowing. He needs a date.
That's our mantra. And a fig.
Yeah. Now, let's see. When you guys met and combined the two talents...
Yes.
What was the inspiration? How did you...
Where's the rim shot, son?
What was the impetus? You know,
what brought us together? We actually met on a tour last winter.
It was about a year ago.
It was almost a year ago. It'll be a year in December 28th. Will be a year, and we met in New Orleans on a tour that we were doing, and after about 2 weeks, we just kind of hit it off really good, and decided that, you know, instead of touring around the country and the world alone, we decided to put our two shows together and make one show. So it's worked out really awesome so far.
So this was a sideshow that you bet together on, or
yeah, it was mainly a sideshow.
A variety show.
Yeah, it was a variety show, but mostly a sideshow, and I was the only one doing anything other than sideshow on there. I did some magic and stuff in the show, but it was mostly a sideshow.
Yeah. Now, achoo. Continue. Just.
Yeah. Oh, we're all good.
This is very well orchestrated.
Yes.
Yeah, nice work.
This is what happens when you put a show together when you're chewing gum.
Winging it.
Winging it. Yeah, there's a whole different format here. There isn't any.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that format.
It does work well. Now, Lady Diabla, you're originally from?
I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada.
You are originally from Vegas? Sin City?
Yeah. Well, actually, I moved there. I grew up in Las Vegas. I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, but my mom got in trouble and went on the lam, so we decided at a young age to move to Las Vegas.
You went on the lam, so you're an outlaw chick.
Yeah. My mom got in trouble with the law, and she decided the best place to get away was to go to Las Vegas, Nevada, which is quite a transient place, so it's a
So
good
she
place
could
to
hide out pretty well in Vegas, right? I mean,
Yeah, it was a good place for her to duck down and keep a low profile.
Wow. I want to ask you, if you don't have to go into any details, but was it a real serious trouble, or was it
Not
slightly serious?
Slightly serious.
Enough to run away.
Enough
Okay,
that she
that's
needed
cool.
to leave.
Yeah, we don't want to expose Mom right now.
Yeah. She comes home from school. Guess what? We're going on a trip.
I came home from school and all my stuff was packed, and she's like, "All right, guess what? We're moving to Las Vegas."
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, were you fascinated by sideshows and circuses and the like, or is it something you just grew accustomed to like? How did that work out?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I was fascinated with sideshows. I remember the first sideshow thing I saw, it was Melvin Burkhart, and it was really old, gritty footage.
Let's tell everybody who Melvin Burkhart is, because that's an interesting side note right there. He's one of the legends, right, John?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
One of the great legends.
Yeah.
He was the first human blockhead.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the first
in the United States.
First
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah.
He made the human blockhead famous. He made driving a nail into your face
An act,
Yes.
rather than just a thing.
Right. For those who don't know, it's through the nostril.
Yes. it goes into
Hammering
your
a nail into your nostril,
Yeah, it
into
goes
your
straight
head.
back into the skull.
Whew,
Yeah.
man. Wow. So, do you need a deviated septum for that, or do you just create one?
You'll get one.
You make one.
If you don't have one, you will.
So you deviate your septum.
Yeah, basically.
Whoa, man. Okay. All right. Wow. That's so go ahead. You were talking up to the point about Melvin Burkhart.
I saw gritty footage of him, and I was really a little kid, and I didn't understand how it was done. I just saw him do it, and I was absolutely amazed. Like most kids see magic, and they think that's awesome. I was dumbfounded by it, and I decided I had to learn it, and I had to learn all the other stunts as well.
That's something. Wow. And now, how old do you remember your age at that time?
I was about maybe 6 or 7. I was
And
really young.
drawn to
really
that.
young. Yeah, by the age of 10, I was making my own bed of nails in the backyard.
Whoa.
My grandmother busted me once and told me I had to get rid of it, you know.
See, that's interesting. Like a lot of kids pick up a magic set.
Yeah.
Some of them become model train hobbyists. And
Coin collectors.
Coin collectors.
Yeah.
And this girl's playing with a bed of nails. You know, it's that's very interesting because a lot of kids, like, they go to the circus and they're frightened by clowns and they put all this weirdness.
Well, you should be.
Yeah, I
really.
guess, to an extent.
You really know any clowns, yeah.
John Wayne Gacy was a clown.
True.
Not saying, just saying.
Yeah,
If
no,
you've ever
yeah.
walked Clown Alley in the back of a circus, you'd know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, they are an odd bunch, but,
Yeah.
but I mean, that whole well, I don't go to the circus because my kid is afraid of the clowns. Like,
and punch
go
him
to
in
the store
face.
and bite a clue or something. You know what I mean? Like, get a life.
Do what normal people do. Drug them. Here's some Valium. You'll love it, Joe.
Isn't that what NyQuil is for?
Yeah, right.
Robitussin.
I think there's a song about
Some
that.
tussin. Give the kid some tussin.
The tussin.
Give him the tussin. So let's see now. You saw Melvin and you had a bit of nails, right? And
Right.
when did you actually start swallowing?
Swords.
Well, I didn't start. I remember I really saw sword swallowing and I thought it was amazing, and I wanted to learn how to do it, but I had no idea how to go about it the right way. And I remember as a kid, I tried to take. I tried to take a broom handle, and I thought, well, I mean, that's not sharp. I can shove that down and not kill myself. And I was like 12 years old, and I realized that wasn't going to work.
Oh, my God.
So it wasn't until after I was 18, I grew up and ran away, and I joined a carnival circus sideshow with Ward Hall. The king of sideshow. He does the last of the 10-in-1 sideshows. And it was there I met a guy named Red Stewart, who is the oldest living sword swallower, and he actually gave me proper pointers on how to do sword swallowing without killing yourself.
Now, I know in Coney Island there's a school.
Yes.
For stunts and to learn stuff safely,
there
right?
is the Coney Island Sideshow School. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like I would like to go there just to see what they could teach you about being a pitch man, or a front man, or a talker.
Yeah, the outside talker. Yeah.
Right. Because I think
a lot of people actually mistakenly call it a barker, which is
True.
not really.
That's actually an insult.
Yeah, it's not the actual term. It's there's an outside talker and an inside talker.
What is a barker technically?
I don't know what the dog.
What is it? The difference between a talker?
A Doberman?
What's the difference between a barker and a talker? It's about $1,000 a week.
Yeah, sweet.
I mean, a good outside talker can turn the tip,
Turn the tip, that's right.
That's why they're one of the most important people in the sideshow. The person who talks on the outside is what's making everybody else on the inside money.
The salesman.
So, yeah,
He's the salesman.
if he doesn't get those people through that door, then guess what? None of you all eating. So he's the guy you need.
Now, how does it feel for the two of you to be here in the epicenter where it all began, man, where Barnum kept his circus in P.T. Barnum's town?
It's pretty cool. I mean, the town is filled with a lot of really neat historical things. And, we got in a chance, you took us around, and we went to the cemetery after hours.
It was a great time.
We broke into the cemetery after hours. That was pretty awesome. To go see the grave and stuff. That was really cool. And then we went down to the shoreline there. With the big
Seaside Park.
Seaside Park.
The statue.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I mean, there's a lot of great historical
and this
stuff
entire
around
campus, all these buildings were
all belonged to him at one
and
point.
His employees and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome. I mean, the place has a lot of history, and probably a lot of people don't even know most of it, I would imagine.
No, unfortunately, the city does not. Not to knock the city, but for some reason they don't. I don't know if it's politics or money, but they really don't build any tourism around this place. I mean, every town that has something that they're famous for has tourism.
Yeah, like Salem and stuff.
Yeah, Salem.
But actually, believe it or not, Salem's trying to get away from the witch thing.
I know.
Yeah, they're actually trying to get. We want to talk about. We had a lot of pirates here. Well, nobody cares. Nobody cares
about pirates.
People want to talk about the dead people.
Yeah, they didn't burn pirates.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
They hung a few and they pressed some guy.
Although the Pirates got burned this year in the playoffs.
You have to wait till I have my drum.
Your cornhole shot or whatever that's called. Rim shot. There you go.
Got it? There you go. Feel good?
There, here we go.
There you go. You feel better? Go eat a sandwich.
That's some high tech. Wow.
Gotta love technology these days.
You give a guy an iPod app and he goes crazy.
He's like an artist.
Oh, he is.
God.
So let's see. Backtracking a little bit on the conversation, you started working with a broom and found out that didn't work.
It wasn't gonna work at all.
Right.
And so I ended up doing mortuary work, and I learned a lot about the human anatomy and the human body and what you can push it to, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I went to school and decided to settle down with the mortuary, I decided I wanted to join a sideshow.
With the mortuary.
With the mortuary, yeah. I learned a lot about the human body and the anatomy and how far you could push it.
Right.
And before I settled down and actually went to work as a mortician, I ran away and joined the circus, and I decided I was going to do that for about a year or two, just to get it out of my blood. And
Every kid dreams of running away with the circus.
I haven't gone back yet.
Right, John? Every kid
absolutely
dreams about running away.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, if it's either in you or it's not, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you've had that dream and that desire, like, you know what, I want to go on the road and I want to see the country and perform for people all over the place, it's either something you want to do or you don't. It's not something you can just get into. You know, it's something that you wanted to do since you're a little kid. Like with me, at 8 years old, I discovered, magic, and I was like, yeah, this is for me.
Right. Right.
And then when I was about 10, I went to a sideshow and I pulled a sword out of the sword swallower's mouth, and I was like, "This is pretty awesome." And I
sword swallower's mouth.
Yeah, and then and then I was also around that same time we were at Madison Square Garden watching.
And now you're pulling things out of a swallower's mouth.
Yes, exactly. That's after the show, though.
I like
Where's
when
your
yeah.
I fell in.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. He's
taking a nap. Sorry.
That's right. The jokes are just for us.
And you both, John has met Richie before at a magician's show who won't go, who will remain unnamed.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the awesome guy.
That's a loose term right there. I got it.
yeah, and right, you remember that night when you met John?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of loose.
So you found out the difference between good magic and bad magic.
And no magic. Yes.
Good promotion.
Great promotion.
And I'll tell you, there's a little bit of P.T. Barnum and everybody,
yeah.
When you find your inner Barnum, then you could really...
It takes a lot to be able to convince people that you can do something that you can't.
Yeah.
And then get them, even after you've shown them that you can't, still be able to continue to get people to want to see you do nothing.
Now, Lady Diablo, why don't you give them your AKA?
Your real name.
Oh.
Also known as?
Alex.
Your full name?
Oh, Alexandra Kaminsky, but I go by Alex.
Yeah, that's a tough one to spell and put on a banner.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So
it just doesn't flow right.
So, what made you come up with the moniker?
The Jew and the Polak.
Yeah,
That'd be the name of our show.
Oh, cheese there.
John can say that he's in the club.
You meathead, you.
He's one of the chosen people.
That's right.
No, I'm a goyim.
I know you are.
I'm just cattle.
You're a Gentile.
Yeah.
You're who we.
I'm hamburger.
It's your problem.
You're who you sell it for retail.
Hey, what are you talking about? You killed our savior, man.
Oh, man.
We did not kill your savior. We hired the guineas to do it for us.
Wait, I need my drum machine.
It's okay,
Blame it on the
gotcha.
Roman soldiers. Blame it on the Roman soldiers.
Hey, they did it for cheap, son.
Yeah.
But,
So now let's figure this out. Now, what was your take on magicians before you met John?
well, there's good magic and there's bad magic, and I think it depends on each particular performer. I tend to like comedy magicians. They're just much better. Anybody that takes himself too seriously and they have the stare and what you call the magic hands.
Right.
Just
yeah.
much
Magic
with the
hands.
doves.
Yeah. Say no more. Say no more. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, magic hands.
Well,
It's
here we are.
Too much with the magic hands. Too much posing.
Yeah.
I watched
posing and facing.
Yeah, I watched magicians pose more than they actually performed.
Right.
And look
Dance
like
numbers.
Yeah. And way too many dance numbers.
Too much Cirque du Soleil choreography.
Yeah,
and
I'm just,
you're a purist.
Do the trick.
Yeah, get to the trick.
Just do the trick.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
trick should speak
Nobody's
for you.
there to watch dancing.
No.
That's why Lance
It's a
Burton is
magic
so
show.
good. That's why Lance
and
Burton is
he had
polished.
he had some dancing in the show, but it was very minimal, and
Yeah.
it all led up to the trick, and it led up rather quickly.
He was waltzing, actually.
Yeah,
Who's that classy guy?
It was classy.
A lot of birds and thing.
Channing Pollock.
Channing Pollock?
No, the modern guy.
That's Lance Burton.
That's Lance Burton. No?
No, it'll come to me.
All right. Well,
we were digging
During
him for
this
a while.
show?
We were digging him for a while. You showed me some of his videos.
I think that was Channing Pollock. With he became a movie
No,
star.
the guy with the cigarette.
Oh, he's talking about
Real
the great
smooth
Cardini.
Oh,
no, I'm talking about Rocco.
Rocco Solano.
That's who I'm talking about.
I think Rocco's pretty slick.
I like
He's real
Rocco's
slick.
stuff. I like Rocco's stuff, and what he does is very technically difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, and he does a lot of it, and I mean, he's doing stuff right in front. He's loading his props right in front of you.
Yeah.
and you
So
don't,
smooth.
and you don't catch it.
No.
I mean, and it's very, very well done. And I mean, I've seen.
You
the
don't
show,
even see
man.
him do a line in between the birds.
Yeah,
The cigarette magic is
No,
tremendous.
I'm only kidding, Rocco. In case
Yeah.
you're listening, I'm just. teasing.
yeah, I mean,
He's a great guy.
He's an excellent performer, and one of the last people doing the particular style of magic that. he
Yeah,
does.
I would say it's that cross-European Pollock.
Yeah, well, his method of magic is kind of a lost art. Like, some people do some of it, but he has a whole show revolves around it, and I don't want to give away actually what it is. Because it kind of gives away what it is, but it's pretty awesome.
Well, John, what we're going to do with Alex and Whitney, we're going to play a little couple of numbers. These are special request songs for Lady Diabla. And we're going to come right back after a couple of tunes. So stay tuned to show number 13, Esoterica, WPKN 89.5.
Yeah, I can feel it's time for me to be moving on. And the reason I know is 'cause all the good times are gone. We keep getting further than closer day by day. And if you ever need someone to help you, don't ever come my way. 'Cause Lord, I'm falling further day by day. The devil's moving in like he's gonna stay. I tried my all to give her something true. But when you're loving an angel of sin, she'll never be there for you. My poor heart broke the day you said goodbye.
myself nearly dry. Being alone is a thing that's hard to do. When I'm lying here thinking of all the good times with you. And Lord, I'm falling further day by day. The devil's moving in like he's gonna stay. I tried my all to give her something true. But when you're loving an angel of sin, she'll never be there for you. Yeah, when you're loving an angel of sin, she won't be there for Well, I'm broke, lovesick, and drifting, and I've done a lot of hard living on the road and seeing how it goes. I grew up fast and it shows, 'cause living the nightlife is where I belong. Drinking with the drunks who don't wanna go home. And it's hard, it's rough, but I can't quite get enough. Though I'm doing the best that I can. Well, I'm broke, lovesick, and drifting, and I've had my share of good living. I once had a good home, a wife to call my own, but now I'm here drunk and forlorn. 'Cause living the nightlife is where I belong, and drinking with the drunks who don't wanna go home. And it's hard, it's rough, but I can't quite get enough. Though I'm doing the best that I can.
his step. 2 points guiding his step. Good is the one that can weave all together our passions and passions into city looms. Evil sits in one man, thinks he is so judge. Only him can think right, no one else be just.
You're listening to WPKN 89.5 FM in Bridgeport and online at WPKN.org. It's Esoterica without Johnny Rizzo until he gets back in here. I see him.
Johnny Rizzo's on break right now.
Oh,
There it is.
There you guys are.
That's okay. Oh,
There you are.
wow, that's crazy loud.
On.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I see him. Let's see.
Can you see him
stomping
on
out
the
his cig?
Can you see him on the security camera?
Oh yeah, he's taking a last drag, chucking it.
Apparently, he does not know what 3 minutes means.
No sense of time. No. And now he's turning around like he's gonna,
he's gonna go down,
pontificate about something to nobody.
hang out in the parking lot and look creepy.
Well, till he gets back, why don't you guys talk a little bit about what's going on in Vegas and just that whole thing in general.
Awesome.
Well, Vegas is awesome, and we're making the move from New York to Las Vegas permanently. Because most of our work not necessarily is in Las Vegas, but we're going to make Las Vegas our base because a lot of our shows are on the West Coast in general.
Are there more connections there than in like California?
Well, it's when you're based out of Las Vegas, a lot of people think that sounds awesome. And so they'll wind up booking you for stuff because, direct from Las Vegas. It's just a nice title to put on, especially because we do a lot of fairs and festivals. Mm-hmm. And that's a great thing to have as on your title.
Yeah.
Direct from Las Vegas.
Not to mention my friends and family are all out there. We both have a lot of friends in Las Vegas.
Yeah. We have a lot of friends in shows and just who live out there in general. So it's a better place to live. For us, for sure. I mean, it's not for everybody, but for us, it's definitely the best place. And quite honestly, it's considerably cheaper to live there than it is New York.
Oh, I can imagine.
There's no state tax. I love prostitution and gambling for that. Not that it's oddly enough, I don't participate in either one of those, but I'm happy for the people who do. Because they pay the state tax, and I'm happy about that.
I don't know any other way to deal with this other than on the air. Johnny's calling me.
He's calling.
He forgot the code.
He forgot. It's 9.
No,
Oh, I shouldn't say it out loud.
Hey.
Yeah, don't want to.
It won't open. Are you hitting the 4 numbers and then the star?
What?
He had trouble when we first got in here.
Yeah, when we were trying to get in.
Make sure the first one registers.
How's it going?
We're just hanging on the
Are
radio.
you there, Johnny? Because we're all on the air, just waiting for you to come in.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Johnny. We'll
He's
take
coming
care
in.
of it. Is he? Is he coming in?
Yep.
Rizzo.
I would say about 15 seconds he will appear.
Wow. And he will
like
be
magic.
Schmuck.
Yeah. God, people late. What the hell's wrong with you?
So what is the show? What does the show entail?
The show it's a variety show, and it entails everything from magic, illusions, comedy, daredevil stunts, western stunts.
Cool.
We're actually created a new show this year called the Original Sinners not stunt show. That's our old show. A new show is the Original Sinners Rock and Wild West show. And so we're creating a Wild West show, but it's more with a rock and roll feel. So instead of, traditional country music, we're using rock versions of old country songs. And it has everything from gun spinning, rope twirling, trick shooting, and it also has knife throwing in that show as well. And all kinds of cool stuff. And, there's a gunfight at the end and all kinds of good stuff. So,
hey, guess who's back?
Hey, who's this guy?
Oh, hey. How's it going,
forgot about
fella?
the...
Nice of you to join us, 3-minute man.
Yeah, well, I messed up on the password.
About 10 minutes worth.
Yeah, I forgot to hit the star button.
You got to hit star.
Didn't know I was on a phone.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
well.
We got nothing to do for 3 hours.
I brought you a sandwich.
Tip your waitresses.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, well, it's your problem.
I'll hear
we're
it.
just
You'll never know.
talking a little about Vegas.
Cool.
It's
Vegas, the Wild West. Show.
Yeah, it's just a great place, and because all of our work is based on the West Coast, I can't even speak. Predominantly, it just made more sense for us to make the move out there because instead of having to drive back and forth across the country, it's just a lot easier to just live there.
And we don't have to shovel snow.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, man,
I'm
right.
looking forward to not being cold all the time and not shoveling snow.
Are you going to reunite with your fugitive mother?
Yes, actually, she does still live out there, and
She's still hiding
in a hole like
yeah.
like.
Well, they won't extradite her for what she did, so long as she doesn't step foot in Salt Lake City, Utah, or the state of Utah again, she's fine.
Well, who wants to go to Utah?
Yeah,
there's too many Mormons.
Yeah,
you couldn't do your act there.
No. I've tried booking the show there.
That's
Salt
like
Lake
you going
City.
to Branson.
Yeah, Salt Lake City, you can get away with it, but that's about it.
Wow.
The rest of we actually drove up through Salt Lake City to go visit some of her relatives and stuff, and we got pulled over. And I'm like, going, how that?
I read that on your...
Yeah, did you read about that?
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. The guy pulled me over and was like, you didn't signal long enough before you changed lanes. And I'm like, what? And he's like, in the state of Utah, you must signal for 2 seconds before crossing into the other lane. And then you must continue that signal until you are completely in that lane.
Do you think they saw Lady Diablo's hair and that was a red flag? For
No,
you?
I think he saw. I mean, we had a rental car, and I think he saw out-of-state plates
Yeah.
and was like, because we weren't speeding because I had the cruise control set for less than
But
the
he
speed
wasn't
limit.
prepared for the visual
No,
looking at you two,
no,
man.
I don't think he was. I mean,
Just for the listeners, these are very unusual looking people.
You can go to originalsinners.com.
That's right. Let's plug.
Sinners with a Y. And you can see some video footage of Lady Diablo and I doing different stuff. And we're going to be putting up new videos and stuff soon. So you can check out some of the ones on there now, but check back. We're going to be adding more.
And you do state fairs, too, and everything.
Yeah. We do state, county fairs, festivals, all kinds of stuff.
What's it like? What are the hurdles in an outside performance compared to inside performance?
Well, I mean, the outside performance, you have to deal with wind, and that is one of the biggest problems that we have.
Especially with fire.
Especially with the fire. The fire reading is very difficult to do in the wind, and there's some magic things that are very difficult to do in the wind, or that just don't look good in the wind. Because when stuff is blowing, it doesn't look, very cool.
Pretty.
It's not as pretty, so it kind of...
Speaking of fire, you're the only guy I saw put a blowtorch out on your tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Well,
it
I'm not the
blowtorch?
only person in the world that's ever done it.
Well,
but-
you're the only person I saw.
Oh, you're the only person you've yeah. It's a propane blowtorch that you get like in any, like a Home Depot, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I turn it on and I light a cup with it so people can see it's real, and then I extinguish it onto my bare tongue.
So, how are your taste buds at this point?
They're gone pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of sensation for like temperatures or anything like that.
But you like spicy food, John.
Yeah, I love spicy food. Yeah.
Well, fire eating.
Yeah. Go figure.
Hey, John.
Where's your drums?
If it's
man?
not too personal, let me see your tongue.
Wait, you
Wow,
want to see
you'd
a
never
cool?
know.
You want to see a cool tongue?
You'd
Richie?
never know.
Richie, you want to see a cool
Yeah,
tongue?
my tongue is
I do wanna
boring
see a
compared
cool
to
tongue.
hers.
Okay, ready? Lady Diablo?
Hers is actually cut in half.
Wow.
Yeah. Hers is cut up the middle, so it's forked
It's
like
cartoony.
Yeah. It's every
In a
bit
good
of,
way.
Did you make it do the belly dance?
Yeah.
Oh!
If we ever needed a webcam, it's right now. That's wild.
It's
Why don't you describe that to the listeners, Rich?
I don't even know how to describe it. It splits.
It's forked. It's a forked tongue, yeah.
It's a forked tongue.
And it's every bit of
the
Bifurcated?
muscles on each side apparently
Does that
are
grow back, Lady
controllable.
Diablo? Or does it stay permanently like that?
Yeah, it does grow back together over time. And initially...
Show Whitney over there your tongue.
And you can control each side separately.
Yeah. Well, your tongue is made up of two separate muscles,
Did you cut
and
it?
it's only
She wants to
connected
know
by
if
a
you
piece
cut
of
it.
tissue.
Cut
So
it.
what you do
Cut
is
it.
you take a scalpel. All you do is cut that piece of skin that connects the two muscles, and then you can control your tongue however you would like to.
Do you freeze it so it doesn't hurt so bad, or just do it?
Just do it.
Better you than
How
me.
much pain? How much pain?
as much as cutting your tongue in half.
It kind of feels
Yeah.
like someone took a scalpel and cut your tongue in half.
Lot of blood?
Yeah, actually, it did bleed a lot.
Does someone
yeah,
do it for
there's
you?
a lot of
Was
blood.
it like a piercing place?
Definitely, a body modification artist does it, and you definitely want to be careful when you go to a modification artist. There are people all over the place, but you definitely want to look at someone's portfolio and make sure they know what they're doing, and make sure that they're not gonna.
I'd want some serious references.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, people.
given.
If you see somebody with it, ask them about it and where they got it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the best way to do it.
It's getting more popular, and there are more people popping up and saying, "Oh, I could do that," but they really
You
don't know.
Unfortunately, due to language restrictions on the show, I can only entertain the thought of how erotic that might be.
It's every bit as awesome as you might think.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Shaw. Because I know
and even
Richie
more.
was thinking the same thing.
As
Am I
great
right?
great as you think it is, it's even better.
Yeah. Oh, my.
Mama Pajama.
Man, oh, mouse, man. Oh,
And
man.
that's why I love her.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the only reason, but it's one of the big ones.
Oh, man. So, body modification, fire eating, sword swallowing, human endurance, and you slept on a bed of nails, right? And
Right.
do you do blade box?
Yes.
Why don't you explain to the listeners?
The
what-
Blade Box is a classic sideshow. Actually started out as a magic trick originally. And what it is it's a cabinet about 6 feet long. And you open up the cabinet, a girl would get inside, they close it up, and they push about 13 to 15 blades down from the top to the bottom. And then the gentleman would reach inside and say, "Oh, I'm going to make her vanish," and he'd pull out her costume. And then he would, put the costume back inside, and then take the blades out, and then the girl would reappear again, kind of thing. Because it was like, well, where could she be if all these blades are there? That was the original way it was done. Then a smart carny said, "Hey, you know what? We can make some money with this."
Yeah,
So what they
yeah.
did is they did the same thing, except they pulled the girl's costume off, but then they charge you, like a nickel or a quarter back in the day. Now it's $1. We charge $1 to come up, and you get to take a look inside to see how it's done. So we actually sell you the secret and how she's all bent and contorted and twisted and folded
Right.
all around.
It's basically to show how contorted the woman can
Yeah,
be.
exactly, all around the blades. And you think she's naked because I have her top in my hand, but
Right, that's the come on.
That's that's the way to get you to come up, and then how you talk it, and you get people to line up and stuff, and it's only $1, and it's
You
fun.
turn the tip on the rubes.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta ding them,
Yeah.
and if they want to take home a secret, well, they should pay for it.
What's that,
We've all
Rich?
paid for it, so why shouldn't they?
Now, I wanted to, just for the listeners, when we entertain them, won't the two of you entertain us with a little bit of sideshow lingo and what the meanings are and some of the words?
I talked about carny.
Yeah, carny lingo.
Like different terms and stuff.
Yeah,
like
different
that?
terms.
Different-
The
okay.
jargon, like turning
like
the
the
tip,
blow-off
the
or
blow off,
turning the
right.
tip,
and a 10 in 1 and all that.
Okay.
What's the blow off?
The blow off.
That thing that you get a lot.
Drum
With a-
machine.
Kazing!
Sorry.
After the show, there's an extra added attraction, and for only $1, you can see for yourself the amazements behind this curtain. And it's generally like a pickled punk or some.
You have to explain what a pickle punk
Yep.
is.
Yeah. Every jargon you hit, you might as well.
Everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's
You
just
guys,
general.
The general audience will be
Pickle
going,
punk.
"What is a pickle
A
punk?"
pickle punk is
Sid Vicious in a box.
Yeah,
pretty much a deformed fetus or
Two-headed baby.
Two-headed baby inside of a jar. And in the old school slideshows, they would display that for an extra $1 or something like that.
Actually, one of the best places to go to find out about the carny lingo or sideshow lingo is there's a great website called sideshowworld.com.
One of my favorites.
Run by a great guy called John Robinson. And
Who I hope is listening tonight.
Yeah,
I
he might be.
believe he
Hey,
is.
John,
Yeah.
if
Hi,
you're there,
John.
nice.
Howdy.
John actually was really cool. I met John. He came out to Arizona, to Tucson, to one of our shows, and he's a really cool guy. And he's been being great to the sideshow community.
We're trying
by
to get him as
creating
a
that.
guest too because we're sideshow friendly.
Yeah, sideshowworld.com, and you can. It's a great website, and you can find out about all kinds of different.
It's a
performers.
library.
Yeah, there's a plethora of information on there.
Plethora.
I know, it's a good word. And, there's just a great wealth of information on that site, from videos to
What's
pictures.
a rube? Tell them what a rube
A
is.
rube?
A sucker, right?
It's a sucker.
Yeah.
It's somebody at the carnival that you...
Is gullible.
That is gullible, that you're going to get to buy your product.
And
like the white shirts.
Right.
Because back in the day, they used to have chalk on their hands, and they would pat somebody on the back and leave a chalk mark on the back of their shirt.
And that was the mark.
And that was the mark, which they are...
You see them walking down the midway.
Yeah,
right?
and this person is gullible.
That's really
I can get them to take part in my game or come into my show or do whatever the hell.
All that actually starts at the ticket taker. If you notice, ticket booths at carnivals are taller than you are. And the reason that traditionally that was is so the guy who was
touch your
doing your
shoulder?
tickets, was so that he could see down inside your wallet. When you were taking your money out to buy tickets for your family to come in, he could look in your wallet because he was up higher than you. So when you open up your wallet, he could see if you had a lot of money. And if you had, he would come out and say, you know what, there's some great stuff down this way. Boom. And he nail you with the chalk on the shoulder. And then as you're walking the midway, of course, everybody who's working the games and
Looking
different
for
things,
that chalk mark.
they see that mark and they're like, hey, well, there's the guy. There's the guy with money. Let's go after this guy.
Wow.
And then and that was one of the things that they used to distinguish people in the carnival.
I do know one term is kind of, it doesn't sound like what it is. A butcher is the candy salesman. He used to chop up, he used to buy logs of candy really big and then chop them up.
Yeah.
And sell them, a vendor.
Yeah.
And they would, the candy man was called a butcher.
Wow.
I don't even know if they use that one
Yeah,
anymore.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I found that out on Sideshow
Oh,
World.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See?
Yeah.
You learn something
There
new
you
every day.
go.
Yeah, which is something old.
Yeah.
And something old is
something new.
That's right. Yeah.
Carnies actually have their own lingo.
Yep. It's
which-
called carnies.
Yep, carnies. And it's kind of like a pig Latin meets gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a language that the carnies all have so that they can speak to each other without the families and the people that are right there in front of them knowing what they're saying about them.
That's wild. That's you know what? We're learning a lot here today on Esoterica show number 13. Joining us here is John Shaw and Lady Diablo from the Original Sinners Sideshow / Magic Show. And you can check them out on the Original Sinners spelled with a Y. .com, am I right?
Yes, that is
.com.
correct, yeah.
And also, don't forget that we have Whitney Dolphos right here on cello accompanying us. I just smacked myself in the head. That was beautiful.
Awesome.
I'm the blockhead. I'm Burkhart.
I watched you do it, too.
That was beautiful, too.
Cool.
With a headphone, it sounds louder than the actual pain.
Yeah, your eyes are moving back and
You know
forth
who
in your
actually
head.
termed Melvin the Blockhead? It's a very famous individual.
I forgot now.
Ripley.
That's Robert
Ripley.
Wow.
From Ripley's Believe It or Not. Saw him do the stunt, watched him do it, and said afterwards, like, you know what, Melvin? It would be only a real blockhead would ever do something like that. And
Very cool. Very cool. And how long did how old was he when he died?
When he died, I think he was 86. I
And
want to
still
say.
and still.
I want to
pitching.
say he was 86. I could be wrong on that number, but
And he was
I
still
wanna guess.
performing
And he was
down
still
in
working.
Gibtown.
That's great, man. That's
We
great.
actually, when we were down in Gibtown, we went to the Showtown bar.
Gibtown is
In Gibsington, Florida.
In Gibsington, Florida.
It's where all the carnival people winter during the winter season. That's their winter quarters. It's where
It was
they
started
live.
by the Giant.
Right.
Tomei.
And he had-
Jeannie and Al Tomei.
That's right. Yeah, and
they had
Jeannie
the
was
Giants camp.
legless,
Yeah.
half woman,
yeah.
And she married the giant man, Al
Right.
Tomei.
and the big giant boot is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it was populated by a lot of the loose term is freaks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the place where, you could see the gorilla lady live. Priscilla lived there. Frida, you'd see the fat man walking down the street along with, Petey, the fire-eating midget pygmy dwarf,
And they also had a restaurant, right, or a diner or
No,
something.
they owned I think it was a trailer park, wasn't it?
But they had an eatery.
Did they have an eatery? I
Yeah,
don't-
they had a Giants camp.
Giants Camp, right? But I think they also had in town was a restaurant or diner where a lot of them hung out.
Yeah, yeah. And there's also the Showtown bar.
Yeah.
That's it. Showtown
The Showtown bar, yeah.
That's what I was
There.
referring
And
to.
it's still there. And, man, let me tell you, the bathrooms are worth going.
They're
if for nothing
great. They're
else,
hilarious.
it's just going to go see what the bathrooms look like. They're pretty awesome.
I don't know where to go with that one.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Yeah, I mean, you'd want to
They're
clean
safe.
it.
They're,
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's a bar.
It's a bar, but it's just the stuff that's on the wall. is what makes it what it is. You know, it's pretty cool.
You mean memorabilia or
No,
remnants?
no.
The paintings.
Yeah, there's painting on the wall. That's
there's
just very
paintings
unique.
and writings on the wall. that are
Oh,
just worth
graffiti. You mean the
seeing.
graffiti?
Yeah, sort of graffiti, but it's put there on purpose.
I
you
gotcha.
know?
I gotcha.
It isn't like somebody just went in and just did it for the hell of it.
No, it's always real catchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's there's some
Usually.
pictures of it on my Facebook actually.
I got to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be right back after a few tunes, and stay tuned because we have some more surprises on show number 13 of Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo on
WPKN 89.5 FM in Bridgeport.
Hey, welcome back. Show number 13, Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo. That was Frank Zappa doing It Must Be a Camel, and the late, great Captain Beefheart, who passed away only a couple of days ago. I'm going to Boogleize You, and Ain't Necessarily So by Miles Davis.
Yeah, we skipped that one.
We did? Well, I heard it somewhere.
I was humming it. Maybe that's what
That's
you heard.
what it was. But you know what time it is now?
I know.
What time is it, Richie?
It would be Head Rush time for a Head Rush with Chris Rush.
That would be the...
Who hopefully is on the phone right there.
That's right.
It's true. I'm salivating mentally.
Chris.
My tear ducts. It's
Yuck.
pretty disgusting. Looks like I'm weeping, but it's saliva.
Chris Rush, we actually have a mini audience with us tonight. We have Whitney and John and Lady Diabla here in studio. We'll say hi to Chris Rush, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Disembodied voices. For all I
Yeah.
know,
Oh, there we are.
yeah, for all I know, it's you doing several voices deep in your throat.
Chris Rush, the formidable one. What's happening, man?
I'm still watching the incredible deterioration of America's intelligence base, and I'm also feeling very good about some stuff. Let's be positive, okay? You know, of course, the Pope made his third announcement about it's okay to believe about aliens. You know that, right?
Are you kidding?
No, he made two, and then he went to, I don't know, the guys, what I call the Beanie Gang. They sit around, they crack out a bong, they smoke incense, and they make decrees, and the decrees go down to the parish level. So now parish priests on Sunday are saying, and it's okay to believe in aliens. How do they know this? I know how they know it. The Vatican is a country unto itself. They have spies. Couldn't you see a guy talking into his lapel at NASA? Hello, Popo, we got to go on life. We got to go on life. They got 5 janitors, 5. Think of the money we could make, you know? We did pretty good with 1. Bad news, they're asexual, like amoebas. They do it to themselves. How can we make money with that? Well, no, mating with yourself on Friday, that's it. That'll do. That's good for 7 million. The Pope's very good at that. You know, the guy with the beanie, I mean, let me be honest, I'm a little frustrated towards the Catholic Church recently because they just passed a bill where they're not going to give money out to the local area in Italy that needs it really bad because the Pope needs...
Would that be Brooklyn?
No, it's in Italy, in the Vatican area.
Okay.
They're having, like, huge unemployment, but the Vatican is doing well. But the Pope needs the money because sometimes the glue that holds the diamonds on his ass breaks and he drops one. So you got to pay for that expensive glue. But on to an expansion of consciousness. Did you hear that establishment scientist, New York Times, 3rd page, precognition is now a proven fact. In other words, seeing into the future is now a proven fact.
A proven fact.
They put that on that's a scientific fact proven and is now law. Every human has a tendency to be precognitive. Now, the question is, why didn't they say this 8 years ago? At Maimonides, they did an experiment to prove precognition, and the odds of it happening by accident, by the way, were 10 million billion to 1. But that wasn't good enough. By the way, those are some odds. Those are the same odds of a flock of geese flying out of your butt suddenly. You know, you say, well, it's not impossible. It's just incredible odds that the geese would do that. Well, it's incredible odds that this thing would turn out randomly this way. Maimonides did these experiments 15, 20 years ago, and then a real serious one 10 years ago. Nobody said anything. But now a British scientific group did it, and the New York Times said, okay, we're precognitive.
Well, the British did it. Don't they have that authoritative accent?
That's it. It's the accent. It's the accent that does it. Yes, it's quite all right. Eat the thumbtacks with the butter. It's fine. Well, you must be. I'll eat it. You're British. You know, but the concept being, once a belief system becomes rigid, it fights off all of the other expansive belief systems. The flat Earth theory. Science is almost as bad as religion. I'll give you an idea. Science, when you go to a doctor, I'm taking a regular doctor, the guy that has a white coat and has the right to penetrate your anus with his finger by law, because he's a doctor, right? And then you tell him, well, how does consciousness come about and the mind? And he'll say, well, the brain, to a series of electrochemical and neural transfers right down to the microtubular quantum level, the brain generates both consciousness and the overlay of consciousness, that invisible ghost in the machine called the mind. Nonsense. The mind and consciousness exist outside the brain. We receive it like a radio, the way people are receiving this show on a radio receiver. We receive consciousness. 2 months ago, they did an experiment and found out that we have receptors for radio-type reception in our brains. And listen to this. Every human being that's hearing me now, you put out radio waves. The human brain sends radio waves. WWYLU, coming from your ass right out there into the world. So radio waves are coming out of you right now. They also found out the human body puts out light waves. This is getting more and more like the 60s, Johnny.
Yeah, right.
I saw this stuff on acid.
Digressing.
I saw people glow, and I heard radio waves coming out. And yet, we have 42% of Americans, according to this survey, if you want to believe this slightly right-spun survey, 43% think God created humans and animals exactly as they are now. Forget evolution. That's how you showed up, John, just like that.
Just like
Maybe
that.
instead of New Balance, you had Reeboks. But basically, that's it. You may have had New Balance that kind of evolved into Nike, but otherwise, that's it, right down to your running shoes. You just showed up one day.
That's
now, we have a
amazing.
senator
Yeah.
from Arizona, that overweight lady that wears pink suits, looks like somebody spray painted a top-loading washer. She comes out and says, we don't need ecological legislation. The Earth's been taking care of itself for 6,000 years. Now, look, I don't want to sound like an elitist, but she's stupid. She's stupid to be a senator. She should walk around with Tupperware on her head with the word dumb written on it. And they elected her. Who the hell could elect her? What did they do? Give lollipops out to everyone? Well, she gave me a yellow lolly. I mean, the dolphins are brighter than us. Did you hear that? I think I mentioned this a while ago. The British declared dolphins non-human persons because they have demonstrated the ability to play abstract thought. They recognize themselves in a mirror. They have a sense of humor, and they masturbate. And they don't have any arms. Figure that one out.
I'd like to.
I know there's guys at Harvard trying to figure out. I can't do it. I don't understand. I keep ramming into the wall, but nothing happens. Apparently the dolphins found a little patch of magic mud.
What is this news flash about? You could choose if there's twins to just have one now.
You can choose just to have one.
Yeah,
I want to get shot, man.
There was.
You know what? You're probably one of them abortion people. Any minute, a homicidal right to life could bust upon your scene with an automatic weapon. You know what to do, right? There's an emergency procedure. If a homicidal foaming at the mouth, right to lifer, dressed in a flag and an ammo belt, otherwise completely naked except for the crucifix burned into his forehead, shows up in your studio, cocks his AK-47 and is about to spray the room. Here's how to save your life. Drop to the floor immediately. Remain silent. And form yourself into the fetal position. It confuses them. I think I can kill it, but it's wearing shoes.
No.
I'm telling you, this is a country we've never been stupider and we've never been smarter. It's a hell of a mix. It really is. Well, are you a little, honest, John, from your gut, do you feel a little, you're not a kid anymore. Do you feel a little embarrassed that we've reached a point where Sarah Palin or that other one that worshipped virginity, I forgot her name, what's her name, O'Donnell? The one with the three hymens. One of
Christine O'Donnell.
Christine O'Donnell, right.
Christine O'Donnell, the one with the electrified hymen. She can kill mosquitoes. She was anti-masturbation! Anti-masturbation! 99.9% of all normal male humans on Earth masturbate. They don't do it at the same time because the Earth would fall off its axis.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what kind of energy would that do?
It would be kind of
it would probably go counter to the Earth's spin, especially for the few million left-handed Chinese people that are out of phase. But everything masturbates.
Are there actually 80% Chinese are left-handed?
No, but the masturbators are. Chinese don't waste much time masturbating. While I said that, 100,000 people just gave birth in China. If you could see it, it would be amazing. Oh, push. They're just popping them right out. And as soon as they come out, the first thing they say is, I want a car. I want a car. I'm not ethanol burning, need a dead dinosaur. I want a car. I want people to chew the air. I want air you can chew. And they burn coal to make electricity.
Oh.
It's good to keep the lights on, because as soon as the lights get dim, they start popping out more Chinese. Oh, look at that sundown. Oh, push. Push.
What are we going to do about the high cost of fuel and energy, Chris, in the future? You see anything about that?
Hey, look, man, it's, we've known this for a long time, man. When I say we, I mean the collective consciousness of the kind of people who listen to Esoterica and actually read and actually think. It's one big scam to make money, and it has been from the beginning. I'll give you, for instance, a long time ago, a German guy named Diesel invented a diesel engine that got 4 times the mileage of a gasoline engine, had about a third the moving parts, and very little pollution. And you know what it was designed to run on?
What's that?
Peanut oil. Not the black gunk from Brontosaurus' decomposed ass, but peanuts. Peanut oil. He designed the original diesel engine to run on peanut oil, and it was infinitely superior to the gasoline engine. On the way back on the Queen Mary, he fell overboard.
Oh, did he now?
8-foot fences keep you from falling overboard. Of course, if 3 large men hit you over the head with a sock full of sand and toss you, you could make it to the water. and they noticed that there were 5 people who worked for Standard Oil, guys with no necks who pivot their head like a tank car. What do you work for? Standard Oil. And somehow, poor Diesel got tossed overboard. And we got back here in America, you got Standard Oil, you got the Model T Fords, and the whole beginning of it. So we're paying so much because we're dying. This planet is cursed by one particular disease. I don't want to sound religious because I'm not religious. I am not a religious person.
I kind of picked that up.
tell that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you probably picked up on it. I mean, I went to Catholic school for 8 years. I still can't make love during a thunderstorm. Traumatic. I have rosary burns on my face. All right? I'm just saying that.
You get it. It's hilarious.
Somebody's suffering over that one. I'm not religious, but the various religions, people claim it for Christianity, but it's actually in the Torah, so it's also Hebrewic. So there are 7 deadly sins. Sins that can destroy a man or a woman's life and happiness and can destroy a nation and a world. And the sin that we are suffering from, the deadly sin we're suffering from, is greed. My favorite, personally, is sloth. That's why I've been laying here making wet on myself. I don't want to get up. Sloth is good. You don't hear a lot about sloth. Lust is, you hear a lot about lust. Oh, the Christians are bad on lust. Lust is bad, masturbation is bad, premarital sex is bad. Excuse me while I snort speed, I have homosexual hooker waiting for me, hanging from a trapeze, strapped like a Nazi soldier. It's just amazing.
It is amazing.
Fundamentalist people are not bad people. They're just dim. They're incredibly dim. It's 1 and 1 is, well, it could be 2, but the Bible says 12 and a half. And I would like to go against the Bible, except that whole city, Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember Sodom and Gomorrah?
Oh, yeah.
And they had like a lot of free sex. They had sex with llamas. I don't mean the religious people. I mean the animal with the fuzzy butt.
You're right.
And all of a sudden, no more Sodom and Gomorrah. Some of the Vandanic and aliens are misinterpreted as gods. People think that there was so much deviant sex that it threatened the chromosome transference of humans, and that they were hit by 2 angels with an innocuous little suitcase. A suitcase nuke delivered by angels. Bless you. Stay away from the suitcase and put these sunglasses on.
That kind of ties in with the UFOs, doesn't it? The angels must be UFOs.
You know, it was just misplaced. It was probably the mayor trying to drum up some convention action. That's all. You know, hey, llamas, come and get it. We got hot girls and llamas. You know, but it didn't work out.
Chris, where can we find out what's going on with you, man?
Oh, go look for me at chrisrushcomedy.com. That's my website. Also, YouTube and Facebook and MySpace, particularly YouTube. I got something really cool on YouTube. If you want to go right to YouTube, it's Chris Rush Comedy, Intergalactic, Interdimensional University.
This is something I have not heard about before. Hit me with that again.
It's called, this is on YouTube, Chris Rush Comedy, : Intergalactic, Interdimensional University. There's I did 55 minutes of ad-libbing. The machine broke, so I had to go through all sorts of hell. People actually bled transistors. It was rough. and we managed to sync up. I think there's about 14 minutes, or 12 or 14 minutes, but it's all free rap, just to the camera. To camera and the crew, no audience. And my own insanity turned in on itself and delivered forth some lush concepts and good solid laughter.
I got to check it out. What about Milking the Rhino?
Milking the Rhino. Hey, Milking the Rhino is doing really good. Apparently, electrons sell well.
Mm-hmm.
They're invisible and they move at the speed of light. But Milking the Rhino is available. Go to the website. It'll tell you how to get it, but it's still available as a download from Amazon.
Oh, Richie,
what a
there...
lovely gift idea.
It is.
It is, especially Christmas time.
Hey.
I know people are depressed and all, but you can't buy everybody stools and rope.
Hey, Richie, isn't there a guy, a character that keeps trying to contact us that apparently knows Chris from college days? Remember? We keep getting an email or a Facebook message.
Oh.
Who is does he have static in his voice? Because I used to hang out with a lot of acid heads.
I don't know who the guy is because doesn't it come in on his page?
No.
Well, tell him to approach me on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a lot of
All right.
virtual
Good.
Okay.
Good. That's what we'll do. Chris Rush. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the formidable one. You will again join us in 30 days from now.
Keep doing it, Johnny.
All right, baby. We love you, Chris. Hey, happy holidays anyway.
Happy holidays to everybody.
All right.
Even the Mayans. And they don't go for any of that cardboard Hallmark crap. They want a real wet heart that beats. Don't pick on your Mayan neighbors.
No.
The holidays are coming.
I wouldn't think of it. Chris Rush, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for visiting us, Chris.
Oh, good. I just heard you were gone the whole time. You sound like somebody talking to a tin can 8 miles away, but here you are now.
Yeah, it's a 43-year-old station.
Have a wonderful New Year. Have a great holiday, man.
You too, brother.
Thanks,
and
Chris.
I hope Santa gives you what you wanted, the albino nymphomaniac mute.
I already have one.
And with the aphrodisiac lipstick.
You're beautiful, baby. Chris Rush, everybody.
Take it easy.
See you next year.
All right. Bye. Hey.
That was cool.
That was cool.
He's so funny.
Man, what a mind.
He's so funny.
How his mind thinks like that, it's just, it's so fast, too. He just, and some of the stuff
Just
sometimes.
rips it, yeah.
No, it's ad lib. Yeah,
he just
doesn't know what's going to come out. I don't think.
Sometimes I get lost a little bit, but then the logic comes through towards the end, and it just blows me away. Hey, we have a special segment that we do every show, or almost every show, and it's known as Kicking Back with Jack, and we're going to indulge in a little Jack Kerouac spoken word. And you all set there, Richie?
Oh, yeah.
All
We're
right.
going.
We have the band playing.
Yep.
And we're going to hit you now with some Jack Kerouac. Whitney, you'll do the honors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Whenever you're ready.
This is called The Sea Shroud, a description of my last cartoon. The sea shroud comes out of a slip of water in Brooklyn Harbor night. It emerges from a submerged tug, right from the enamel underwear of the pilot's cabin. Right through up comes the shroud head, a draining drape of wet, weedy, watery sea net spray, ephemeral, climbing to knock knees against the bow and make the bit on the dock. And come on vanishing instead, reappearing as a man with a briefcase on a borough hall, saying nothing with a watery face, saying nothing with an ogu mouth, saying nothing with a listening nose, saying nothing with a question mark mouth, saying nothing, the briefcase full of seaweed. What happens to floating bonds when they get in the hands of the drape? Sea Shroud, turning Chinese food to seaweed in his all-abominable bag. Shroud, the taker of widows' monies and red allies, of shame and stage doors. Purple Lagoon, Goon Shroud departs, gloving the money. Earlier in the day, he perched atop a flagpole in a parking lot on the waterfront and looked around to see which way Borough Hall, which way the little white doves.
Welcome back show number 13, Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo here on WPKN 89.5. And we are in studio with Whitney, John, and Lady Diablo. Say hi, guys.
Howdy. Hello.
All right. This is a great show. We're having a lot of fun. That was a little Lounge Lizards doing the First and Royal Queen. Preceding that, we had the Madcap Mind of Mr. Chris Rush. And I may have forgotten something or may have not.
Great reading of Kerouac.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, by Whitney Dolphos, our in-house cellist.
Under a little Miles Davis.
That's right. With a
which
little
was Ain't Necessarily So, I think, from Porgy and Bess.
Correct. El Mundo. And we have a guest, don't we, right now, Richie?
He's here.
Oh, man. John, you're going to say hello really soon to a friend that you know really well.
Yeah.
And this is a sideshow-themed program, if you haven't guessed that already. And this guy is an artist. He's also a collector. And I guess you could say a bit of an authority on the whole world of sideshow, Mr. Kevin T. Jerome. He's also does sideshow banners, the giant murals and paintings.
They're wicked cool, too, on his website.
Oh, yeah. Is that canvas, John?
Yes. His are on canvas. I have two of them. Two of my own personal ones for shows and then some just for my own personal collection.
Now, when you go, for those that don't even know what a banner is, when you go to a little frog in my throat, and my mic is...
Ribbit.
It's really messing up. Is everything cool there?
Yeah, just keep banging on the microphone until it works. There it goes.
How's that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Test 1 1.
Just put it in your mouth.
There's a loose connection somewhere. Yeah, maybe she can fix it.
Hey, John, check my jack there, baby.
Yeah, I'm jacking.
Okay, man.
Your jack right
All right.
He's jacking you hard.
Wow. Ooh. Ow.
How does that feel? Is that
Beautiful.
better?
And a banner is the giant signs that you see. I mean, they're what are the size?
Well, they vary in size from small.
Average?
I mean, the ones I have are 6 foot by 6 foot. So
okay.
And those are small.
And those are small. Some of them are 20 feet.
Uh-huh.
You know.
So these are enormous projects. And on the phone with us right now is Kevin T. Jerome. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Johnny?
Hey, it's good. To, I can hear him loud and clear. That's beautiful. Finally got a good connection here.
Well, that's good. I'm actually in Cleveland. I get my 3-year-old boy is asleep, and my wife says I'm too loud when I'm in the house, so she put me out in the car and outside.
Don't run the engine.
So yeah, I got the car on and the heat on. It's like 30 degrees out here. So.
Well, don't do it, Thelma Todd. Make sure you got some ventilation in there, man.
How you doing, John?
Good, Kevin. How you doing, buddy?
Good to talk to you.
Now, Kevin, you do sideshow banners. How did you start getting into that?
Well, I've always been into the carnival stuff. I grew up outside of Cleveland, kind of a boring town. I've always been into the whole carnival, horror movie stuff, and I ended up going to art school. And my whole thesis for my BFA show was all sideshow, and seemed like the sideshow was all but dead. I mean, it still is all but dead, but there is still a few around. So I started painting the canvas banners and building the exhibits, some of the gas, the fake shrunken heads and stuff like that a lot of the shows, mummies and stuff would use nowadays. And just started talking to people such as John and a lot of our people in the business, and just started getting business that way, and now it's become pretty successful.
Would you say that the sideshow world...
Switch over to their mic.
Okay.
This one's unreliable.
We're having an unreliable mic problem. Okay. How we doing, Kevin? I'm back again.
All right.
All right. Would you say that the sideshow business is coming back? Would you say that it, economically seems a little more feasible for people?
I mean, a lot of the nightclub acts are coming back, but as far as the midway, it's pretty slim. But I get a lot of business. There's not too many artists out there that are painting the banners and stuff. Me and maybe 2 other people. So I've been fortunate enough to get a lot of business and paint for a lot of the bigger names. Ward Hall, who's in his 80s, I've been painting for his show. He's the king of the sideshow. So I mean, that's a pretty big honor. So.
Ward Hall is a name I know very well from reading about him. He must be an interesting fellow, Ward Hall.
Oh, very interesting.
You know him, lady?
Guest.
Yeah. He was the first person I ever went on the road with was Warden Chris. Yeah, they're definitely characters, right?
Was that Ward? Isn't that spelled Warden Christ?
Chris Christ.
Is it Christ or Christ?
I believe it's Chris, but everyone says
Yeah,
Christ.
I think some days it's Chris and some days it's Christ.
You're right. Yeah, it depends.
Uh-huh.
They're definitely an interesting couple of people to deal with.
Now, Ward Hall's been a veteran of this for many years, right?
Yeah, he's been in it over 60-some years.
Mm.
Yeah, he's been around he's the longest operating sideshow operator there is.
He's the very last of the old Carnival 10 and 1 sideshow. He's the very last person doing it.
Yep.
You know, it's a shame, Kevin, because this city right here, Barnum City, really could use some of your big banners to attract people to this town. Especially,
yeah, and I think you and I had talked about that before. It seems that they try to shy away from the whole sideshow part of Barnum's life, which is really a shame.
Yeah, it's the poison of PC-ness.
Wow.
You know, because let's face it, I mean, that's what Barnum was all about, right? I mean, most of it.
You know, Barnum, he had his American Museum, which was one of the first dime museums in New York, which is, people don't realize, that's the forefather for museums such as the Smithsonian, all the way to the Ripley Believe It or Not museums. And what he exhibited there were everything from exotic animals to the freaks, you know, and people don't realize that. And that's, without him doing that, that was the modern-day museum.
Now, you are also a collector, too, right?
Yes, I have a pretty big collection.
Now, what's in your collection?
One of my old pieces, actually.
Yeah. I have everything from old banners from famous banner artists, Snap Wyatt's, Fred Johnson's, all the way to real shrunken heads, real Egyptian mummified hand, pickle punks, all the way to memorabilia, the pitch cards that the acts used to sell to make extra money, and some of the Giants' clothing and shoes and stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, I really get into the whole history of the sideshow, trying to preserve it, learn about it. I'm not into it just for that cool aspect, which I know John and Lady Diablo aren't either, like a lot of people seem to be these days, but it's just getting that whole history out of it and trying to keep it going. Like they said, sideshowworld.com, I mean, it's a great website. You could read about and learn it's the most valuable knowledge there is on the website for
it's extensive. I've been reading it for a year, and I haven't read every article yet.
Oh, yeah, it'll take forever. But John does a great job with that. So, yeah, I mean, everything from books. I mean, there's so many great books out there now, too. So,
do you? This is a Barnum-related question. Do you have a Fiji mermaid?
You know, I've made quite a few of them, yes.
I dig Fiji mermaids. You know, I'm going to have to commission you to do one for me, because I definitely have to have one in my living room with my bear.
I definitely think you need one along with your
I mean, speaking from someone who owns some of Kevin's work, it's really top notch, and you know,
thanks.
and the little two-headed guy has paid itself back 1,000 times over.
I've seen it; it's beautiful.
The little two-headed guy. You want to elaborate?
I have Kevin made me a great two-headed duck. A little baby duck and with two heads, and it's fantastic. It's on a nice little wooden stand.
Seamless.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, it looks absolutely perfect.
Wow.
And you know, Alex and I sometimes will do a blow off on the side of our regular show, and we'll exhibit some things. And Kevin's stuff is always in there.
Now, Kevin, that's taxidermy.
Yes.
And that's what they call rogue taxidermy,
yeah,
right?
I don't do all that much taxidermy. I mean, I do the mummifying and stuff like that too for the fish, for the Fiji mermaids, and some of the other creatures I build. But yeah, I mean, I build everything from like the two-headed ducks, the two-headed turtles, all the way to full-size 6-foot mummies. So a lot of that sculpting. resins and fiberglasses and stuff.
Resin,
But,
resin. Now, is there any clay or putty in the beginning
no,
of this?
no, because the thing with the sideshow gaff building,
Uh-huh.
gaff being building the exhibits and stuff, versus Hollywood special effects, is that the Hollywood special effects are meant for one purpose, which is to look good for a movie set. But when you're talking about a sideshow kind of exhibit, it's got to be very roadworthy. It's got to be able to be out in the heat, the dampness. It's got to be able to get moved in and out of the trucks and stuff. So
Right.
you have to think about the materials you're using. You can't use, you can't use latex because that's going to rot. You can't use clay. I don't use because it's very fragile. If it drops, it's going to break. You know what I mean? I try to stick with the stronger materials that are going to hold up on the road. That way.
So obviously that's why the antiques are so valuable.
Yeah,
That they actually lasted to today, right? Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Now, what's the oldest piece that you have, antique-wise or historical? Or do you have mostly newer stuff?
No, I mean I have a pickle punk that's probably over 100 years old. It
Wow.
was in a show, Captain Harvey Lee Boswell's show is one of the star attractions, little Stevie the Seal Boy. And that's pretty cool. That's but I mean then I have like some of the old gaffs from a guy named Homer Tate who was
Homer Tate, that's the he was famous for making gaffs.
yeah, and they're really horrible gaffs by today's standards, but they're
Yeah.
very collectible because there's not too many around. They were made out of paper mache, toilet paper rolls, and stuff like that. And
Wasn't he?
Be surprised what you can make out of toilet paper. It's true, man.
It is.
You'd be surprised.
Was Homer Tate responsible for a giant, or am I mistaken? I've been reading so much, I'm getting a little cloudy. The Cardiff Giant was out of limestone,
yeah, and that was out of Pennsylvania.
out of Pennsylvania. But there was a Homer Tate gaff that was pretty famous in the collector's world. Maybe it wasn't a giant. Well, anyway, it
He
doesn't.
made mostly smaller pieces.
Smaller
Homer did. I
pieces.
think he did make a couple full-size mummies, but most of them were like pygmy mummies, maybe 2 foot or 3 foot at the most. He kept them kind of small, his stuff.
Can you do a Ward impersonation for us, Kevin?
No.
Come on. Ward Hall speaks a very specific way.
If you've hung out with him, I know you can do one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He has a very interesting way of speaking.
I'd rather hear a Chris imitation.
Yeah. F you.
Hey, come here. You know about what I'm talking about. Give me those banners.
Wow. Now, what banners did you do? What does your banners look like for the original Sinners?
He has not actually done any for us, for this new show. He's done one for my other shows.
Oh, okay.
Before I met Alex. And
I think it was Madhouse, or what was it called?
I have the Magic Mystery Mayhem one for my magic show, and then I had another one done for my old sideshow, which was called the Pandemonium Midnight Sideshow.
That's it.
And he's done one of those, and they're like 6x6, I think.
And the colors are really
they're big. I
Bam.
mean, they're big. I mean, they're heavy. They're big.
And isn't there a traditional color scheme to these posters? Red, certain colors that are always used, like in the old ones that they stuck to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them had the orange borders around them, and the whole idea was to keep the colors bright and the picture is somewhat simplistic because the whole idea was the people walking down the midway is to catch their attention in a heartbeat. You know, the people aren't going to stop and look and read and really look into them. They needed the banners or what sold the tickets.
Uh-huh.
The banners and the outside talker, and the banners needed to jump out immediately to try to get the marks and to hand over the money to see the show. So they needed to be fairly simplistic if you look at a lot of the older ones, and they needed to be very bright and jump out at the.
Well, of course you weatherproof them now, though, right?
Well, I use exterior house paint. I mean, the exterior paint it holds up very well outside.
Well, I mean, obviously,
Yeah, his stuff is great, and his style of artwork. he and I met at the Sideshow gathering,
right,
in Wilkes-Barre, depends on who you are,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, that meets every year, and we met there, and I noticed his banners right away, and I was like, wow, I really liked his artwork as opposed to some of the other people, which kind of lean towards more the real-looking people stuff, where
Right,
he has more
right.
of a caricature style. And I like that kind of cartoony style.
It's very broad.
Yeah, it's just really cool, and it's kind of like that old style, almost like tattoo work.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's
Like a Sailor Jerry
Yeah, it's very
tattoo?
bold, and it's like you see it and you notice it, and it sticks out. Everyone else kind of has that same style, and Kevin's style was different, and that's what really attracted me to him. Plus, he had a nice butt.
Yeah, that was one of my first real jobs doing the banners, I must say, and it was great work.
Yeah, I mean, I loved this stuff immediately, and actually, the first piece I ever got from him, I won in the auction they had there, and I got it for a really good deal. I know I got it for cheaper than what he sold it for, so I was, I was
you're
happy
a
about
bargain
that. I'm a Jew.
Oh, you know what? We're going to take a small break, and we're going to return with Kevin T. Jerome, banner artist, and
JeroneStudios.com.
Jerome Studios. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Jerome Studios.
Shameless plug.
That's 2 R's, GERRONE.com, and check out his website because there's some fascinating stuff. His gaps.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's pictures of my banners on there, and a bunch of Ward Hall stuff, which is amazing. Some big, huge banner.
Are you too busy to make a Fiji mermaid for me there, Kevin?
No, I think I could get that going. I have
got a
couple
baby.
of dead fish in the basement.
All right, man. Okay, we're going to be right back here on Esoterica with Johnny Rizzo, Show 13, WPKN 89.5.
Oh, you already ate that? I can't tell the difference. All looks alike to me. Young lady, did you know that fire came in flavors like ice cream? I didn't know it either till he told me, and you know what? I'm not sure I believe him, but I think I'll take his word for it because I don't want to eat fire to find out. Oh, it's so good. A little barbecue tongue is always good for lunch. That's the way to do it. And of course, just like Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's finger licking good. There goes, finger licking good. Yes, sir. And just like Maxwell House or Starbucks, it's good to the last bite. Let's have a nice hand for Poobah.
A special added attraction, the Viking Giant, a giant who stands so enormous that the giant's head nearly bumps the top of the big circus tent, and when you're in there, you can stand right next to the giant and get your picture with the tallest giant who ever lived, free of any charge. And the Gorilla Girl. Now, the Gorilla Girl's act is so weird, it's been banned here for 26 years. But we made a special agreement with the fair board. They said we could show you the Gorilla Girl tonight, as long as we kept her locked in a cage for your protection. You watch while a beautiful woman walks out on the stage, and you see her enter a deep hypnotic trance. Her eyes roll back in her skull, she foams at the mouth, and grows big long fangs in her mouth. While you watch, you see this pretty woman change and transform until she's become a huge, vicious, angry, male African gorilla. And don't worry, she is kept locked up in a cage for your protection. Now, this is a very big show. The only small thing about it, other than Poobah, is the price of admission. Most nights we only charge $5 to see this whole big show. They said in the newspaper that was a bargain. However, tonight, for the first show of the night, we're going to have a sale. If you look at the ticket box, you can see the sale prices up there. We're going to let all the adults in for only $3 each. Kids 11 and under, it's only $2, and the little ones under 5 can come on in and see it for free if you go on in there right now. Come on in. You get in line right over that ticket box, and as you're lining up, watch, because here goes Poobah as he eats that fire. You ready, Poobah? First the chocolate, and then the vanilla. It's the hottest pygmy in town, the Tower of Power, the man of the hour. Here's Poobah. Give him a big hand. Now everybody, come on in for the thrill of a lifetime. The strange people entertain you in there. And before I came out here, they said that the giant was standing up. Catch him.
Next time I run away with the circus, I'm the singing mermaid, a sad and silly clown. Next time I'll be back and
Coney Island, to me, is a lot of things. It's my family's past, it's my past, and it's my present.
from this open wound goes
was a high wire walker.
This has been a part of my life for 53 years. I still cannot get off the subway and walk through the tunnel on Stillwell Avenue without my heart fluttering.
I grew up with all this carnival culture. My Uncle Lester was the talker of the Dreamland Circus sideshow. Maybe the most important person in a show stands outside and is a voice that can make you stop in your tracks. Just like my paintings are meant to make you stop and come see the show. So Lester would stand out there and talk. I guess it wasn't a job to him. The freaks were his friends. I became the repository for all these stories my father and his brothers told me. And they weren't really friends with sword swallowers and fire eaters. They were more friends with the real freaks, the born freaks. All these stories became very real. So I had the ghosts in my house. Violetta, the armless and legless wonder, visited constantly. The Baron would sleep up there when he was in town. The world's smallest perfect man, or Lionel the lion-faced man sitting on the porch and smoking a cigarette. Once I went to college and then graduate school. Nobody cared about Coney Island. People would say to me, you want to be a serious artist? Get out. Go to Manhattan. I don't know why I stayed. Maybe because my father always said if you wet your feet in the water off the shores, you'll always come back. Coney Island's not only a link with my family, now it's this place where I can be an artist. My uncles who worked in Dreamland, my father, my mother, they all loved Coney Island. And I thought, what a better way to honor them than to have my work beautify my own neighborhood.
What other acts are in the sideshow? The blockhead.
The edges have to be orange, the ribbons have to be yellow, the letters have to be red. And I've never found it written down why, but since everybody's superstitious, I've stuck to that.
I never expected that hundreds of thousands of people would see my work here. And it's such an amazing feeling to be a living artist and have so many people look at what I do. It's so wonderful to have 60 feet of my paintings here. It's like having my own private art gallery.
We are back. No backtrack rascals, huh? Drop that, Richie, there? Okay, it's cool. Well, anyway, that was a little sideshow talkers. That was Chris.
And first was Ward Hall.
And Ward Hall.
Ward Hall.
Introducing
Pooh
Bah, who was a fire-breathing...
It still is.
A 76-year-old fire-eating pygmy dwarf.
But you got to. The thing is, she's got to tell you the story about Pooh Bah.
Oh God!
Her love altercation with Pooh Bah.
Oh, he had a little crush on you, did he?
You could call it that or an assault. I mean,
okay.
You could call it a lot of things.
Kevin's still on the line. Kevin T. Jerome. That's JeroneStudios.com. GERRONE. John Shaw himself has purchased one of his gaffs. Two of his gaffs.
The gaff, yeah. I only have one gaff.
One gaff, a two-headed duck, and
it's awesome.
And two
I have
banners.
2 big banners, and then I have 2 smaller ones.
Now, what is your current project, Kevin, sideshow related?
I am working on a series of banners for a group out of Philadelphia called the Old City Sideshow.
Oh.
Hey, we know those guys.
Yeah, we know them at the sideshow
Fun group of guys. And I am, I just got an email from Chris, about some more banners for the World of Wonders sideshow.
The World of Wonders.
But I was the first. I was
You were the first.
I was the first.
Yeah, and maybe a couple other things I've got going right now, too. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this year will be as good as last year. So
I was checking out the pig. Did you do the one-eyed pig? Or was it a piglet? Was that you?
The what?
A pig, a baby pig. Did you ever do?
I did a two-headed baby pig.
It was two-headed. I lose track of two-headed.
Everything's
one-eyed.
better with 2 heads, baby.
Yeah, oh yeah. Wow, that's
You can never get enough head.
The the pickled punks. Do you make those?
Yep. The story with the pickle punks are they are cast off of real babies. So I didn't actually sculpt those. They were sold by an old showman named Peter Hennon, and they were actually, he had gotten them from a medical supply company that was selling them for scientific research, and he introduced them into the world of sideshows. Those are the ones that I'm selling. I mean, they've come from various places, real ones, fake ones, but the ones that I make and sell are actually cast off of real before babies.
The effects, the banners that I saw circa the 60s when I was young at the carnivals, at the sideshows, was the effects of LSD on a young mother. And this, the effects of drug abuse.
The drug abuse
ones. Drug scare shows. Yeah.
Yes, drug scare shows. Do you do any? You said mummified parts. Is that like a mummy's hand or a monkey's paw or something like that?
Like building the gas, or as far as collecting.
Well, either or.
I mean, I build the mummies, the full-size mummies, but as far as collecting, yeah, I mean, I have various pieces. I have an Egyptian mummified hand, a Peruvian mummified head, anatomical mummified leg from an old medical museum, various stuff like that. But I've built full-size mummies for a few shows that are out there right now. I probably shouldn't say what shows they are, as they might not like that, as they pass them off as the real thing.
Well, they are real. They're 100%
but yes, that's
real.
it. Yeah. That's exactly it. Everything in the show is real. It's either real or real fake, but it's all real.
It's all in the wording, right? It's
exactly.
Play on words.
Exactly.
And life is a stage, and we're all players.
Because it used to be every sideshow back in the day had a real mummy. They called them stiffs. But nowadays, they the last person that actually went out with one was John Strong, and he ended up getting his taken away. But
now they're bouncers, right?
Yeah. I went out with a few stiffs.
Buzzing.
That was the same thing with the whole baby shows. They called them the pickle punk shows, where they had the babies in the jars and stuff. They went out with those. They worked real good for a long time. Then people started complaining, and that's when they started changing it into the effects of drug abuse. Mothers don't smoke or don't do drugs. This could happen to your baby, and that's how they try to pass them off. So they were able to justify putting them in the shows. But now, if you take a baby out there, it's
what's a collectible that you want to get your hands on?
I want a real full size. I want a real full size mummy. I want Go To Jimmy. He was a bank robber that was killed about 40 minutes from my house. A friend of mine actually has him in his collection. He traveled the country for years and years as a sideshow mummy. He was embalmed with arsenic and stuff, but I doubt I'll ever get my hands on him. But,
he was a bank robber from the Wild West days or 1930s?
Yeah, he was in a gang called the Purple Gang in Detroit. And he got shot in Canton, Ohio, and killed, and they embalmed his body with arsenic, and that's what happened a lot of times back in the early 19th century. They would, the funeral homes would wait for somebody to claim the body so they could get paid, so they would keep pumping arsenic in it, and a lot of times nobody would show up to claim the body, so traveling carnival would come by and offer these funeral homes money for the bodies, and they would sell them, and they would take them out on the road. And
wasn't the John Wilkes Booth? Wasn't John Wilkes Booth on exhibit and sideshows? Or
that's the theory that he actually die when he after he shot Lincoln, or did he live and then die later and his body mummified? But yeah, there was a mummy that was exhibited for many years that was supposedly the mummy of John Wilkes Booth.
Right.
I think his name was David Stein or something. I think it was David Stein. But he's since disappeared. Last time anybody really saw him was in the 70s. But
how does a mummified body disappear?
Well, a lot of collectors grab them up, and they're not willing to really talk about what they have for fear of it getting taken away.
Yeah, I mean, I have stuff in my collection that I don't tell.
Yeah, I know you've told me about them.
It's like you get some stuff you just get, and you just never show it to anybody.
Right, you get and shut up, you dummy up. Yeah. That's interesting, man. That whole thing about the mummification, the arsenic, and Kevin, are you do you travel to deliver your exhibits? Do people pick them up? How's that work?
I have. I'll send them. Sometimes people want me to deliver them. I delivered a mummy to Crown Point, Indiana, to a show last year, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, mostly.
This is so nonchalant about it, you know. Yeah, I just dropped off a mummy the other day.
And John will tell you, everybody in this business knows everybody, for good or bad. You know, it's a small community. I mean, some of us have better names than others, John Strong, but everybody knows everybody. So
I've heard a lot of stories lately. I've been enlightened. This is an amazing subculture, if you will, and it's got a lot of Americana and historical fact. And not only that, it's the birth of American entertainment in this country.
Well, before there were televisions, people would go to the carnival.
Yep.
And before there were all kinds of rides lined up and down the Midway, there were shows.
That's right.
And a lot of them were sideshows.
That's right, and the Hoochie Coochie Girl.
Yeah, the Hoochie Coochie shows. If you talk to Red Stewart, he can give you a Hoochie Coochie ballet, if you will.
Red Stewart?
Yeah.
He's the oldest living sword swallower right now.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I think he's in his 60s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, but right now he's the oldest living one.
They'll twitch him, they'll twatch him. For 20 cents, you can come watch him.
Kevin, do you have any final words before we take off?
No, I mean, I just hope that the next generation of people take up on this piece of Americana and kind of try to keep the tradition, even though it'll never be the same as it was back in the heyday. But try to keep some form of it alive. I know John and Lady Diablo are doing a great job of it, so
yes, they are.
I look forward to see what they do.
Okay, Kevin T. Jerome, I want to thank you for stopping by. It's been
Thanks for having me.
A great chat, and
I want to give your website again?
Yes.
GerroneStudios.com, GERRONE Studios.com.
Okay, Kevin, I want to contact you very soon, probably by tomorrow, about that Fiji mermaid.
Sounds good. I will talk to you soon,
I got
Johnny.
a Jones for a mermaid. Thank you, Kevin, for being with
All
us.
right, thank you.
Kevin
Bye.
T. Jerome, everybody.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, John.
And now it's time for People Who Died. Another.
This is one of our favorite segments.
People who are dead.
Who are dead.
Dead.
And never to return.
People who don't get pizza no more.
And you know what the problem is?
Everybody likes pizza.
The problem is, John, with the newspapers dying, nobody knows who died anymore.
I have internet.
Yeah, well, if they even bother to look at obits, you know.
Too busy looking at porn.
Yeah. Hit it. Here we go. People who died. King Curtis Lucia, 73, American professional wrestler after long illness. Elaine Kaufman, 81, American restaurateur, founder of Elaine's. That's in New York City. She died of emphysema and pulmonary hypertension. Ron Santos, 70 years old, American baseball player and broadcaster for the Chicago Cubs. Complications from diabetes and bladder cancer. Richard Abruzzo, 47, American balloonist. Okay, I don't know how he died, but I'm sure it was a long fall. Carol Reimer Davis, 65, American balloonist.
Wow.
So I guess they were in the same basket.
Swallowing balloons.
And now they're not in the same casket.
Oh,
boom. Mark Daly, 57, American-born Canadian television journalist and announcer, cancer. Bob Fox, 62, American concert promoter, suspected heart attack. Suspected. All they know is that he's not breathing.
It's not guilty to proven innocent.
Norman Heatherton, okay, this is a tough one. Norman Hetherington, 89, Australian cartoonist and television personality. Never heard of him. Christopher Hibbler, 68, American television director, Diagnosis Murder, and Matlock. John A. Ferraro, 64, American television actor and director, colon cancer.
He directed colon cancer?
I was just going to say that. I missed that one.
How exactly do you direct that?
It was a Lifetime movie.
I was watching Cirrhosis, so I missed that one.
Oh, did you?
It's a hardcore character actor.
And you all heard of the DuPonts. Ka-ching.
Money.
John DuPont, 72, American millionaire and murderer.
Wow.
He murdered a wrestler. His name was Schultz, and he went to jail for that. And he was crazy. He started exhibiting weird behavior, took an interest in this wrestler and his career, and shot him to death in front of his wife and kids.
Wow.
Nice guy.
Swell.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Swell.
My friend.
Chuck Jordan, 83, American automobile designer for General Motors. James Moody, 85, American jazz
Great
saxophonist.
saxophonist, yeah.
That's right. And he died of pancreatic cancer. And we have Mark Madoff, 46, American businessman, son of Bernie Madoff, suicide by hanging. And by the way, no one attended the funeral.
His dad couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He had a previous
There were
appointment.
so many mourners. The
With
block
Bubba.
went around the corner. Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of homeless people there. Mackenzie Miller, 89, American racehorse trainer, owner, and breeder, Hall of Famer, complications of a stroke. Neva Patterson, 90, American actress, An Affair to Remember, All the President's Men, complications from a broken hip. Don't break that hip, man. Every time you read about a broken hip,
Yeah, it leads to something else. Yep.
How do you die from a broken hip?
Yeah, complications from a...
Slowly.
Yeah.
Painfully.
By the time it gets to your neck. Yeah.
Too much pain medication for the broken hip? I don't know.
It could be. Tony Castillo, 64, Singaporean child actor, jazz trumpet player, band leader, and music activist. Liver cancer. What is a
What they
music
do in
activist?
Singapore with kids? Come on.
What is a music activist?
He drinks, apparently.
Free the horns. What's a music activist, man?
What does it matter? He's dead.
Yeah. Wooly.
Yeah, it didn't do him any good.
He liked to party.
Wooly Wolstenholme, 63, British progressive rock musician from Barclay James Harvest Band. Never heard of them. Suicide. That's probably
Because nobody ever heard of him.
Right.
Yeah.
The record sales were just killing them. Steve.
You went there.
I had to. Steve Landesberg, 65, American actor from Barney Miller, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, cancer. And we have Blake Edwards from the Pink Panther movies, 88 years old, American film director, producer, and screenwriter, and the husband of
Julie Andrews. Ding.
The Hills Are Alive.
With the sound
Not anymore.
of you.
Oh, you had to go there. You had to go there after I went there. Gene Roland, 72, French film director, actor, and novelist after long illness. Timothy Davlin, 53, American politician, mayor of Springfield, Illinois, suicide by gunshot. Dead politician. Clay Duke, 56, American gunman, suicide by gunshot.
He was the guy in Florida.
Yeah.
That shot all those people point blank and missed.
Wow.
Oh,
You saw that, right?
I shouldn't call him a gunman then.
Oh, man. He point blank missed everybody. Somebody got him, and then he just realized how pathetic that was and took his own life.
Oh,
Yeah.
At least he did one heroic thing.
That's a movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That should be a movie. Trudy Pitt, 78, American jazz organist, pianist, and vocalist.
A what?
That's true.
Pianist?
Pianist.
Pancreatic cancer. And finally, Clay Cole, 72, American television host, The Clay Cole Show, and DJ. He died of animosity. Animosity.
Nobody know him.
Nobody know. Anyway, those are the people who died. Thank you so much, Whitney, for the lovely accompaniment with that sorrowful.
Upbeat music.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Perfect for death.
Anything you want to say, Whitney? Want to say hello to anybody?
A shout out, if you will.
What's up?
That's a shout out.
Connecticut, New York. It's me, Whitney.
Beautiful. Prolific.
All right.
We'll be
All
back
right.
with Dr. Dot in just a minute.
kinda looks like Tempest Storm, and she can dance like a little Egypt. She works down at the snake farm, snake farm. It just sounds nasty, snake farm. Pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile house, snake farm. Ooh. Ramona's got a keen sense of humor. She got a tattoo down her arm. It's of a python eating a little mouse, wearing a sailor hat that says Snake Farm, Snake Farm. It just sounds nasty, Snake Farm. Pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Ooh. Ramona, how come she works there? She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter. Now and then some kid gets bit at the snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is snake farm. It's a reptile house, snake farm. Malt liquor and a band from Wales that's called The Alarm. She said she cried when they broke up. She still plays the records at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Ooh. Sometimes Ramona calls up and says, come on down here, it's getting warm. She runs everybody off and we, you know, it's a snake farm. Snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is. Snake farm, it's a reptile house. Snake farm, snake farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake farm, it pretty much is. Snake farm, it's a reptile house. Snake farm. Ooh.
Okay, we're back. And that was a little Sly Stone coming out of the break. Big Richie behind the board. And we have Whitney Dalfo here and John Shaw and Lady Diablo. Say hi, everybody.
And Snake Farm.
And Snake Farm by
Willie Ray,
Hubbard,
Willie
Wilson Johnson.
Pickett, something, yeah.
Pickett Jones. And great tune. And we have on the line waiting for us our very special segment that we look forward to every month. She is a massage therapist to rock stars and now movie stars. And her industry is growing, where she actually has her minions all over the world, known as Dot Bots. And we have on the phone right now Dr. Dot. Rock
Hey, what's
and roll
happening?
massage. Hey, Dottie, what's happening?
Get ready to go out to karaoke.
Karaoke? Are
Yeah.
you joking me with the karaoke?
No, I love singing.
Do you? I noticed that there's on your Facebook, there's a post that one of your Dot Bots is working on someone in London, is it?
Shakira.
Oh, Shakira, doing Shakira, huh?
Yeah, that's got a big old rump that needs to be massaged.
Need any help?
Horrible echo going on, by the way. I can hear myself.
Want to adjust that, Richie, there? Take a...
I can turn you down a little.
How's that?
Is
How's
any
that,
better,
Dot?
Let me testing 1 2. I can still hear it, but I'll deal.
Yeah, we can't hear it here. Sorry.
Okay.
Is there anything... do you have the show on at the same time on the computer, maybe?
No.
Okay.
No.
All righty. But in any case, we have 2 sideshow performers here and a cello player. And if you guys have any questions at all for Dr. Da about massage or massage therapy, or any pains or anything that you have,
or
feel
love.
free, or love advice, ask Dr. Dot, and she'll ramble it right off to you guys.
Give it to me.
I don't love questions
Or massage, or
Oh.
any. Since you do all these stunts, do you have any injuries?
Yeah, we have injuries, but you just kind of deal with them. That's part of your job.
She'd be great at a...
part of your job is to bleed.
At a circus, because there's lots of sore muscles there.
Do you ever do circus, people? Yeah, do you?
Yeah, because
Cirque du Soleil. They called us just the other day in Barcelona for a massage.
Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
That's kind of circusy, right?
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
kinda.
Whitney, the cellist, you have a question for Dr.
Yeah,
Dot?
I get, because I'm hunched over like an instrument for hours at a time, my back gets really bad in my shoulder blades, and it's just like constantly in pain. I used to get massages, but it only would last like 3 days. Like, then I'd be back to like feeling like
Yeah,
dog
I mean,
pillow.
massage is not like a cure-all forever. It has to be like a regular thing, just like stretching, you know? But if you can't get a masseuse out to you, I don't know why you couldn't, because we offer backstage massage everywhere for $1 a minute. But you can lay on your back, like while you're on the phone in your hotel room or at home, and sleep on the floor. You know, that really helps.
Really?
And I suggest that all musicians take magnesium pills every day,
Why's that, Dottie?
because it increases circulation, it gets blood to the joints, and it eases the pain. It's like putting oil on the Tin Man's rusty joints, you know. And it combats fatigue as well, because you lose a lot of minerals when you're sweating under the spotlights on stage, just like athletes, and you have to replenish them, and magnesium is very important. A lot of musicians don't even do that, and they come to me all broken and tired, and I tell them to take magnesium, and they always write back to me and say, oh, my God, that really helps.
Oh, really? Good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, how many milligrams of magnesium should you take?
Well, I mean, if it says take 1 pill on the package, I suggest taking 2.
Okay.
Because you can't really overdose on it. If you do, you'll get the runs. So if you start getting the screaming meanies, go back to taking 1. But it's better to err on the, the heavy side than not enough, you know? Like when I was massaging the Tour de France bicyclists for the German team, their sports therapist was injecting liquid magnesium into their buttocks every day.
Wow. I didn't know magnesium was so good for you. I had no concept of it.
Very important.
See, I know about vitamins a little bit, and certain minerals and cod liver oil or fish oil, but I never heard much about magnesium. It sounded like something dangerous to me.
No, not at all. I mean, you can get it through bananas and walnuts, but not enough. Like the average person, if you're an office worker, you won't need it as much as if you're playing an instrument on stage or dribbling a basketball or something like that. Then they need more. They need to boost it up a bit.
Who do you out of all the celebrities that you do, actors, sports athletes, and musicians, who is usually in most need of massage? Drummers.
Hands down, yeah. They're sweating more than anyone else, and it's very hard to stretch all the muscles in your back and between your shoulders by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to get a massage. They have to. The drummer's always the first one to sign up. Me.
Have you massaged Terry Bozzio?
Yep. Terry Bozzio, Chad Wackerman, Vinnie Colaiuta. I've massaged pretty much most of the Frank Zappa alumni, I'm proud to say.
Oh, you
happy
know
birthday,
what?
Frank.
Yeah, happy birthday, Frank. Oh, man, we love...
That's right. We played some Frank before.
That's right. You know how much we love Frank here, Dot, and...
we played some Beefheart, too, actually.
Yeah, we played some Beefheart earlier. I don't know if you...
Oh, what a crazy week, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
What a tragedy, man. He was...
God.
He was... Did you ever meet Beefheart?
No, I never met him. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's too old. I didn't meet him because I've met Don Preston, and I'm very good friends with Don.
Yeah.
He's very old, and so is Napoleon Murphy Brock, but our paths just never crossed.
Yeah.
Me and Beefheart.
I saw Beefheart with Zappa on the Bongo Fury tour.
That must have been hot.
Guess where he played, Dot?
I don't know, Hartford?
New Haven Coliseum.
Wow.
You remember that place?
Oh, my God, years ago, yeah. 84 and 85, I was there all the time.
Yeah, they tore it down.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone.
That place is a shithole anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dump. It's nothing now. It's gone.
Yeah. Now it's just
I meant New Haven.
Oh, yeah, pretty much it is. Yeah, it's.
Well, I don't know about now, but it was when Jim Morrison sang about it. When it was when I hung out there. So.
Absolutely, back then it was a dump.
Now you've done all these great drummers, and currently, who I didn't mean done the great. Sorry, that didn't come out right. We won't go
Everybody
there.
says that.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to encourage Dot to say anything.
Lady Gaga's getting a massage every day still.
Really?
Yeah, every day. She just had one in Paris yesterday and today. She loves the Dr. She loves the Dr. Dot team. She loves the Dot Bots. She's addicted.
That's funny because our cellist just cut a tune where she does a Gaga tune with her cello.
Wow.
And we played it earlier, and it was really interesting, a mix,
Mm-hmm. I'm not really a big fan of Gaga's music, but I definitely know she's talented because I've watched a couple of her songs when I massaged her at her show, and I was like, respect,
She's a little thing, right? She's a thin girl, right?
Smaller than me.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Well,
I could pick her up. No problem.
Well, you know what? I don't care what anybody says. Me and Richie are big fans, and we think you're hot, Dot.
Oh, thank you. I got, the bigger the cushion, the better the pushing.
You better believe it, baby.
I don't diet for anyone.
Good for you. Good for you.
No, everything's in the right place. All the curves in the right places.
You.
Yeah, you're just...
Well, I'm not supposed to talk about Gaga, by the way. Everybody who massages her signs a 3-page confidentiality agreement, so...
They make you sign it, or they...
Yeah, all the Dot Bots.
Why? Does she have a mole on a body part that nobody can know about?
Her and Mariah Carey, their handlers make us sign papers before we massage.
Yeah, that's so you don't... so nothing gets in the Inquirer or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could understand that.
I can't imagine Lady Gaga tuning in today to our little chat.
No, I don't think so.
She's Gaga over our show. Come on.
Yeah, but we got Dr. Dot. Gaga over the show.
And it took a while there.
But
on the uptake, huh?
Smack yourself.
Yeah. Dot, we don't have to worry about that because we have your fans listening, so that's what's important to us,
on Facebook, they call themselves Dot Heads. It's really cute. Oh, speaking of Zappa alumni, I was with Steve Vai a couple of weeks ago. That was awesome.
Man, he's great.
Yeah, and Joe Satriani, I saw him on Monday
we were just talking
in New York, and Mike Keneally was on keyboards. I was like, what?
Joe Satriani, man, wicked, blazing guitarist.
He's fast.
Hot.
So fast.
My ears had multiple orgasms. Eargasms.
Dot, will you come and see us again in the new year, January?
I just was in Connecticut for like 10 days over Turkey Day, and I had a class reunion, and I just feel too wild for that place. You know?
I know. I saw your
never-
postings about how boring it was here.
Fucking hell. I mean, Connecticut's big. Listen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the area near the Bradley International Airport. They're they're hillbillies.
Yeah. I know. They're
redneck hillbillies. What is going on?
I know. They're backwards. But
Holy
Dottie,
crap.
we got to run. It's the wrap up at the end of the show. We'll wish you a happy holiday and a happy New Year.
I'll talk to you next year. Happy holidays.
Okay, Dot. Thanks for joining
Dottie.
us.
Have
We
a good
appreciate
one.
you having you here.
Night.
Night.
Bye.
Esoterica, Show 13.
Down on my knees. Got to get down. Down on my knees. Going down on love. Going down on love. Going down, going down, going down. When the real thing goes wrong, and you can't get it on, and your love, she has gone, and you got to carry on, and you shoot out the light. Ain't coming home for the night. You know you've got to pay the price. Somebody please, please help me. You know I'm drowning in the sea of hatred. I got to get down, down on my knees. Got to get down, down on my knees. Gone down on love. Gone down on love. Gone down, gone down, gone down. Something precious and rare disappears in thin air, and it seems so unfair. Nothing doing nowhere. Well, you burn all your boats, and you sow your wild oats. Well, you know the price is right. Got to get down, down on my knees. Got to get down, down on my knees. Got to get down, down on my knees. Got to get down, down on my knees.
Another episode has come to an end.